Hi guys, my name is Mika and today I'm going to share with you what works for me to set attainable and sustainable goals for the new year. So instead of setting a New Year's resolution at the beginning of each year, I do what I'm going to share with you in this video, and it's been tremendously helpful. So I'm filming this right around the new year, which is a great time to set goals and resolutions. But if you're watching this at any other time, this still applies because really any time of the year is a good time to set goals. I do think that whenever there's a fresh start, like the beginning of a new year, we're even more compelled to set goals, but it's good to keep in mind that there are fresh starts all throughout the year. Some examples are when you start a new planner, when you start a new job, or when you move into a new home, your birthday, the start of a new quarter, the start of a month, the start of a week, or even the start of a new day. But because it's New Year's, I know a lot of people have set New Year's resolutions and are working on their goals for the year. And I'm all for New Year's resolutions, and I love hearing what people have set for themselves, but for me personally, it never seems to stick. I've set them in the past and then I end up forgetting about them in a few months. And I think that my passion starts to fade away in February, March, April, or September. Like I never find myself in the following October saying, that's my New Year's resolution I'm trying to achieve. Although I know a lot of people who have stuck by their New Year's resolutions and they've stuck by it all year and then it's benefited them a lot. So I'd be curious to hear, how long do your New Year's resolutions last? Let me know in the comments below. So instead of New Year's resolutions, here's what I do. First, I choose a word for the year. It sounds deceptively simple, but it works so well because it's a word that can guide you throughout the year. For example, last year my word was produce because I'm a writer and I also own a small professional home organizing business. And so last year I wanted to produce a children's book that I had written, and then I wanted to produce a project for my small business, and then I also wanted to produce YouTube videos. I was able to stay on track and get a good amount done, and I attribute part of that to having the word produce on my mind throughout the year. And I say word, but it doesn't necessarily have to be one word. It could be multiple words, such as self-acceptance or healthy eating. The beauty about choosing a word for the year is that it leads you throughout the year, but without a lot of complexity or pressure. A word can act as a guiding star throughout the year, but there aren't a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts. I think that simple solutions can often be very powerful, yet sometimes we can tend to overcomplicate things and then put ourselves in boxes, and then get down on ourselves, which could lead to lost motivation. For example, if you say, I'm going to exercise every single day this year, then you miss a few days or a week for whatever reasons. Then you might get down on yourself for not sticking to your goal. But if exercise is your word for the year and you miss your workout routine for a few days or a week, you won't get as down on yourself, and you'll likely just pick back up because it's a big picture guide, and you'll still be compelled to incorporate exercise throughout the year. It's powerful because it's about long-term consistency, and also you might be receptive to other new kinds of exercise that you've never even considered before, and maybe even pick up a new sport or a skill that you enjoy. A word as a guide simply keeps you on track to what's important to you, but it's open-ended, so new opportunities and possibilities that are related can flow in, and you might be more receptive to them. Each day is a new day, and new ideas can come from your mind, your friends and family, the people you meet, and your environment. And you might have that general guiding word that evolves in ways that you could have never imagined, and it could end up being serendipitous. For example, my word for this year is going to be publish. I want to publish a book, and I also want to dedicate more time to publishing YouTube videos. So the word publish seems like a fitting word. Because publish is on my mind for this year, it could lead to new book ideas or networking contacts or book cover ideas. And I might be more receptive to those things because I'm in that frame of mind. How to choose your word. So for me, one word was clear for each year when I sat down to think of what I wanted for the coming year. One year it was adventure, one year it was peace, last year it was produce, and this year it's publish. So keep in mind that the word that you choose should be a theme for the year that you want to incorporate into your life. Or another way to think of it is your mantra for the year. Don't overthink it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something that you want to prioritize and include into your year. The most important thing is to choose a word that lights you up. What is your priority? What is important to you? And what's something that you'd like to incorporate into this year? If you're unsure, you can brainstorm a list of things that you'd like to do or focus on this year, and then see if there's a theme and then choose your word based on that. But I think intuitively you will know what your word is. And keep the word somewhere in front of you to reinforce your memory, like on your mirror or in your notebook or on your desk. Then you want to make it into a daily habit, because systems equals results. So basically you have your word. How are you going to get there in an automated and sustainable way? Like you're here and you want to get here, how do you do it? So this ends up being super easy if you make it small and enjoyable, and then also utilize the power of compounding. But you want to incorporate something reflective of your word into your every single day in order to make it happen. So for example, if you want to learn a new language, say Turkish, then you can take half an hour or an hour every single day to practice Turkish. And list out the ways that you can incorporate this that would be fun for you. You can watch a Turkish show with subtitles every evening. Or you can use Duolingo online for 1 hour every night. Or you can go old school and use flashcards for 10 minutes every morning. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but an hour a day equals 365 hours of practice over the course of a year. While learning just 2 words a day could mean that you know 730 words at the end of the course of a year. So think of what's a fun way that you could do something related to your word every single day. Another example is if we took fitness as your word for the year. There's a lot of ways to incorporate this, like it could be as simple and effective as going for a walk every single day. But say that you've always wanted to try yoga. So to help you get more fit, you decide to practice yoga for 20 minutes per day, every day, and incorporate that into your routine. Then once it becomes a habit, you're fitting in fitness regularly, you're acquiring a new skill, and there's something fun and feel good to look forward to every single day. At first, incorporating 20 minutes might seem a little difficult, but if you do it every day, and especially if you do it around the same time, you'll get used to it and you might even start to crave it. Your mind and body will automatically expect to do it, and it becomes easier and even fun. It becomes a habit, and that's the power of a habit. Halfway through the year, it'll just be a regular part of your day. Doing something on a regular basis makes it easier for yourself. There's a lot of power in daily habits because you're basically automating. And I'll give you a couple more examples. If you choose love as your word for the year, depending on what kind of love that you're thinking of, but let's just say for this example, general love, like in terms of humanity, it could be something as simple as smiling at a stranger daily, and then eventually you'll just find yourself automatically doing this. There's a quote by Leo Buscaglia, which says, "Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around." I think that if love is your word and you're kind to others, you might be able to make a difference in the world, and then you'll feel more love in return too. There's all kinds of different love, but that's just one simple example. Now, if you choose health as your word, you might find yourself stretching or working out more, or eating healthier meals, or paying attention to your mind-body connection. And if you think about it, we each have 24 hours in a day, and after 8 hours of sleep, give or take, you have 16 hours left in your waking day, give or take. So if it's important to you, you'll find a way to incorporate it into your life. So incorporate something small and enjoyable into your everyday of something relating to your word. And it becomes easy, and you also make headway because you're utilizing both the power of a habit and compounding. There's also one more benefit, and this quote by Sam Brown sums it up well. Every day, make a tiny agreement with yourself and follow through with it. You'll start to see yourself as a person who honors their word even when no one's watching, and that's what creates true self-confidence. Just the fact that you're following through on something that you've promised yourself that you do every single day does lead to self-confidence and empowerment. And aside to being on track to adding something that you want in your life, this is a great side benefit that could have butterfly effects in itself. I also want to show you this optional exercise. You've probably seen this before, and there's all kinds of variations to this. But it's taking the general categories of your life and goal setting, and taking a big picture view of 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and some people do 20 years from now. And you can change this around as you see fit, but the categories of life can be health, referring to physical and mental, spirituality, personal growth, leisure and fun, relationships with family and friends, relationships that are romantic, career, and finances. So you can type this out, but I prefer to do it by hand because I think that there's something more mindful and energetic when you're actually handwriting something out. So what you want to do is to take 2 pieces of paper and create a chart with straight lines, like so that there are blank squares that you can fill in. And then put your categories down the left side, and then the years from now along the top, and then you can fill out your goals. When you're filling in the blank squares, think about, what do you want to do? What's important to you? What do you want to experience? And how do you want to live? This exercise might take half an hour or an hour to do, but the time spent is so well worth it because once in a while it's good to take a big picture view at your life and your goals. You know, sometimes in life we can go on autopilot and time can pass by so fast. So this is an exercise that you can do that kind of puts you back at the steering wheel. And the beauty of life is that we don't know what's going to happen. It's like reading a book and each new day is a new page turned. So things may or may not go according to plan, but it's good to think about the directions that you could go or that you want to go in. And with that, I'll leave you with 2 quotes. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life. Well said by Bill Murray. And never underestimate the power that you have to take your life in a new direction by Germany Kent. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, could you please hit the like button as it helps more people to find my channel, and I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos like this on wellness or home and decluttering, organizing, and also on writing, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. And Happy New Year!